Author Guled Yusuf Aidan, a senior lecturer and researcher specializing in diplomacy, politics and international relations in the Horn of Africa. The Horn of Africa stands as a testament to the complexities of decolonization and the enduring pursuit of self-determination, a journey fraught with challenges and triumphs. Amidst this intricate tapestry of history and politics, Somaliland emerges as a beacon of hope. Its journey towards statehood, a compelling narrative of resilience, legality, and the unwavering spirit of a people yearning for recognition. The story of Somaliland is one of perseverance and determination. This unrecognized state, nestled on the shores of the Gulf of Aden, presents a unique case study in the annals of international law, and the intricate dance between history, politics, and the pursuit of sovereignty. The region's complex history adds layers to its quest for legitimacy. Somaliland's story is not merely a footnote in the annals of African decolonization, it's a powerful testament to the enduring power of self-determination, a principle that has driven many movements across the continent. Unlike many other nations born from the crucible of colonial rule, Somaliland's claim to statehood rests upon a foundation of pre-colonial independence, a brief yet significant period of recognition by the international community which adds weight to its claims, and a steadfast commitment to democratic principles amidst a region often marred by turmoil. This commitment has been a cornerstone of its governance. This essay delves into the legal and historical bedrock of Somaliland's claim to statehood. We will embark on a journey through time, tracing the steps of Somaliland's path to independence, examining the legal underpinnings of its sovereignty, which are rooted in both historical and contemporary contexts, and exploring the international dimensions of its quest for recognition. This quest has seen numerous diplomatic efforts and appeals to global institutions. Ultimately, we aim to shed light on the compelling case for Somaliland's rightful place among the community of nations, a case built not on mere rhetoric, but on the firm foundations of international law, historical precedent, and the unwavering will of its people. Their collective resolve continues to drive their pursuit of international recognition and statehood. To truly comprehend the essence of Somaliland's statehood, one must journey back to its historical roots, delving deep into the annals of time to understand the resilience and determination that have shaped its identity. Somaliland's narrative is not one of a newly formed entity seeking secession, but rather the story of a nation reclaiming its pre-colonial independence, a legacy that has been fiercely guarded and passed down through generations. This distinction is crucial, for it forms the very crux of Somaliland's legal and moral claim to sovereignty, a claim that is deeply rooted in historical precedents and legal affirmations. For centuries, the land now known as Somaliland thrived as a hub of trade and cultural exchange, its people fiercely independent and deeply rooted in their traditions. The bustling markets and vibrant cultural interactions were a testament to the region's significance and autonomy. The arrival of British colonial rule in the late 19th century marked a turning point, but it did not extinguish the flame of Somali self-determination. The spirit of resistance and the desire for self-governance remained ever present. Somaliland's time under British administration, though impactful, proved to be a temporary interlude in its long history of autonomy. The people of Somaliland continued to assert their identity and maintain their cultural heritage. On June 26, 1960, a pivotal moment arrived: Somaliland's hard-won independence from Great Britain. The celebrations were a reflection of the collective joy and hope for a prosperous future. This momentous occasion, enshrined in the Royal Proclamation of 1960, marked Somaliland's re-emergence as a sovereign nation on the world stage. It was a declaration of their right to self-determination and governance. The significance of this proclamation cannot be overstated, for it serves as an irrefutable legal document affirming Somaliland's independent status. It is a cornerstone of their national identity and a symbol of their enduring quest for recognition. However, this newfound independence would be short-lived as the political landscape of the region continued to evolve. Driven by a vision of a greater Somali nation, Somaliland, in a gesture of pan-Somali solidarity, chose to unite with the newly independent Trust Territory of Somalia. This decision was fueled by a shared dream of unity and strength. This union, intended to be a harmonious partnership, would ultimately become a source of profound disillusionment and strife. The challenges and conflicts that arose from this union would shape the future trajectory of Somaliland's quest for sovereignty. Somaliland's declaration of independence in 1960 was not a solitary act of self-assertion. It was met with a chorus of recognition from the international community. This recognition, though often overlooked in contemporary discourse, underscores the legitimacy of Somaliland's statehood and reinforces its claim to international legitimacy. Among the countries that extended diplomatic recognition to Somaliland were two global powers, China and the Soviet Union. This recognition from both sides of the Cold War divide speaks volumes about the international community's acceptance of Somaliland's sovereignty at the time. These acknowledgements were not merely symbolic gestures, but tangible expressions of support for Somaliland's emergence as a sovereign entity. Beyond these major powers, a multitude of other nations welcomed Somaliland into the fold of the international community. This recognition, documented in official communications and diplomatic exchanges, provides concrete evidence of Somaliland's standing as a sovereign state in the years following its independence. While the passage of time and the complexities of international politics have led to a situation where Somaliland's recognition is not universal, the historical record remains clear. Somaliland's emergence as a nation was met with acceptance and legitimacy from a significant portion of the global community. This historical reality underscores the strength of Somaliland's claim to statehood and serves as a powerful counterpoint to narratives that seek to downplay or dismiss its rightful place in the world. Section 4: Binding Agreements, Treaties cementing Somaliland sovereignty. The legal foundation of Somaliland's statehood is further reinforced by a series of international agreements concluded during its brief period of independence. These treaties, signed with Great Britain and other nations, serve as concrete manifestations of Somaliland's sovereign status and its capacity to engage in international relations as an independent entity. Of particular significance are the treaties signed with the United Kingdom, Somaliland's former colonial power. These agreements, meticulously crafted and reflective of international legal norms, covered a range of crucial areas including trade, diplomacy and security cooperation. The existence and implementation of these agreements provide irrefutable evidence of Somaliland's functioning statehood during this period. Furthermore, these treaties were not merely bilateral arrangements, they were duly registered with the United Nations, the principal intergovernmental organization tasked with upholding international law and promoting peace and security. This registration process, a testament to the treaty's legitimacy and conformity with international norms, solidified Somaliland's position as a responsible actor on the world stage. The importance of these treaties extends beyond their historical context. They serve as powerful legal precedents that continue to bolster Somaliland's case for recognition today. Just as these agreements validated Somaliland's sovereignty in the past, they continue to underscore the enduring legal basis of its statehood in the present. Section 5. A Union Gone Awry: The Legal and Political Pitfalls of Unity. The year 1960 marked not only Somaliland's independence but also its union with the newly independent Trust Territory of Somalia. This moment was celebrated with great enthusiasm and hope, as it symbolized the coming together of two regions with a shared cultural and historical heritage. This union, born out of a shared aspiration for a greater Somalia, was intended to be a harmonious partnership, uniting the Somali people under one flag. The vision was grand, aiming to create a unified nation that could stand strong on the global stage. However, the legal and political realities of this union proved to be far more complex and ultimately detrimental to Somaliland's aspirations. The initial excitement soon gave way to a series of challenges that neither side had fully anticipated. From a legal standpoint, the union itself was fraught with irregularities. These irregularities were not just minor technicalities, but significant issues that undermined the very foundation of the union. The Act of Union lacked proper ratification, failing to meet the legal thresholds required for such a momentous merger of two sovereign entities. Legal experts have long debated the legitimacy of this union, pointing out the procedural flaws that plagued its formation. This fundamental flaw cast a long shadow over the legitimacy of the Union, calling into question the very basis upon which it was founded. The doubts and uncertainties surrounding the Union's legality created a persistent undercurrent of tension. Politically, the Union quickly devolved into an imbalanced and oppressive arrangement. The power dynamics shifted unfavorably, leading to a situation where one side held disproportionate influence over the other. The promises of equality and shared prosperity rang hollow as Somaliland found itself marginalized and its interests sidelined. The initial hopes for a balanced partnership were replaced by a reality of political marginalization and economic neglect. The hopes for a brighter future within a united Somalia were dashed against the rocks of political expediency and the pursuit of power at the expense of Somaliland's autonomy and well-being. The disillusionment grew as the people of Somaliland realized that their aspirations were being systematically undermined. This period witnessed the erosion of Somaliland's hard-won independence, its institutions sidelined and its voice stifled. The very essence of what Somaliland had fought for was being eroded by the political machinations of the Union. What began as a hopeful union transformed into a source of profound disillusionment and ultimately resistance as the people of Somaliland refused to accept their subjugation. The spirit of resistance grew stronger, fueled by a deep-seated desire to reclaim their autonomy and preserve their identity.